We all know that you're going to be rich one day. However, right now, you aren't quite there yet. Well, no worries, because until that day comes, there are a ton of ways to feel richer than you actually are. Increase your freedom of time. Have you ever asked yourself why you want to be rich? Like actually sat down, took out a piece of paper, and wrote down what your pursuit of money was rooted in? You see, when you listen to interviews of people who have more money than they know what to do with, you often hear them say that it isn't the things they can buy with that money that makes them happy, but the freedom of time that it grants them. Chances are, this is what you want too. For instance, you may hate the fact that for 40 or more hours a week, you have to work a job that sucks the soul right out of your body. Or you may dislike spending 2 hours on the weekend doing groceries and cleaning your house. Deep down, we know that money is just some made-up concept, but what's truly valuable is our time. As such, being able to control our most valuable resource provides us with immeasurable feelings of wealth and benefit. And this is the first way anyone can feel richer than they already are. But if you aren't financially free to date, how do you use this trick to feel richer? Let me explain. As I just mentioned, to increase your feeling of wealth, you need more control over your time. And one way to do this is to free up some time by outsourcing your routine tasks. For instance, you can pay someone to mow your lawn, shovel your snow, or do your weekly grocery run. The cost of this convenience is small, but the feeling of wealth is large as you gain back precious time that otherwise you would be without. Alternatively, you can gain more time freedom by dictating your hours and location of work. For instance, if you work an office job, you can ask to work remotely so that you can save the commute time and use it in more productive ways. If that's not an option, you can ask to work hours that suit you best or find a job that is closer to where you live to cut down your commute time. Some options will provide more upside than others, but when you start to regain control over your time, you can enjoy the benefits of financial success years before that money enters your bank. Number 2, increase your freedom of choice. In the same way that having more free time makes us feel rich, having more choices works in the same way. You see, if you think about the world's wealthiest people, they have a plethora of choices at their disposal. They can choose to live where they want, drive what they want, and own any material goods you could ever dream for. However, while you will get there one day, you're not quite at that level of wealth just yet. So how do you enjoy this extra choice until then? Good question. The key to gaining more choice comes from 2 things: money and power. As I just mentioned, having money grants you a ton of options, but even making a bit extra can make you feel much richer. For instance, making even an extra $200 a month means making the choice between trying a new restaurant or not, indulging in Starbucks daily, or choosing to invest a bit more money. It's the same choices to be made just on a much smaller scale, but that's just the money side of the equation. Next, there's power. When you have power, you typically have more choice as it's you that dictates how things will unfold. For instance, if you are the most senior person at work, then you will have the final say in decisions that impact you, like your work hours, which projects to undertake, and the list goes on. In fact, right now, you have the power to hit that like button below, so go ahead and do that now, and let's keep going. As you can see, neither of these elements require you to have millions of dollars yet can fill you with an immense sense of wealth. Number 3, live below your means. When it comes to being rich, most people have it all wrong. They think that it requires you to have millions of dollars, when in fact this is far from being the case. Being wealthy isn't an absolute dollar amount, but a proportional equation instead. For instance, who would you say is richer? Person A, who makes $1 million a year and spends $950,000 of it, or person B, who makes $200,000 a year and lives off $50,000? In essence, for every year that person A works, they amass 1 year's worth of living expenses. Person B, on the other hand, works for 1 year and buys themselves 4 years of living. When you really think about it, this is all that retirement amounts to. Do you have enough money to cover the amount of years you expect to continue living? And one of the easiest ways to answer yes to this question is to live below your means. I know for myself personally that living a modest lifestyle, in combination with an above-average income, has allowed me to significantly reduce my financial stress while feeling rich in the process. This is because you have enough financial leeway to address any challenges life may throw at you while also having less pressure to earn given your low cost of living. To me, this is what being rich is all about, and by spending responsibly and striving to make a bit more money every month, feeling rich won't be as hard as you think. Number 4, focus on non-monetary wealth. When you think of being rich, chances are good that money is the first thing that comes to mind, which makes sense. However, if you ask those who are abundantly wealthy, they will tell you that money is only one element that makes up what it truly means to be rich, and chances are you already possess most of the others right now. For instance, one factor of wealth that you have is time. Whether you are 20, 30, 40, or even older, you have plenty of time left on Earth, and if you doubt how valuable that time truly is, think about this. If you were to ask any 90-year-old billionaire if they would trade all their money to be 20 again, almost all of them would say yes. Why is that? Because money means nothing when you have little time to enjoy it, which is why I talk a lot about making money passively on this channel. And if that's something that interests you, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Next, you have family. You could have millions in the bank, but if you don't have parents, a spouse, or kids, then your life will never feel as full as it could be. In fact, many people will lose out on these invaluable components of their life in their quest for more money and end up feeling poorer as a result. So, as such, when you consider what elements of your life you presently have that no amount of money could buy, this is when feelings of wealth truly start to resonate, which brings us to the last factor, which is health. Without proper health, no amount of money will make you happy. This is why, despite having millions of dollars, old or sick people have a much lower quality of life than you and I. Therefore, if your day doesn't consist of taking 30 different pills, needing help going to the bathroom, or falling asleep by 6 p.m., then chances are the ability to feel richer than you actually are is right in front of you.